Hello listeners and fellow Game Pass fans, get yourself set and ready for your favourite unofficial Game Pass podcast, Game Pass News. So I'll hand you over to Nick and Sean and get the show started.
Welcome to Game Pass News, recorded live Tuesday, October 25th, 2022. I am Nintendo, one half of the awesome GPN crew. Mr. Sean Abbott right over there on the other, right next to me is the other hairlessly handsome half across the pond of GPN News. Today we chat about Age of Empires striking back and coming to consoles, no less. No day one Call of Duty for Game Pass, sad day, Achievement Hunters, and all things that have dropped on Game Pass in the long 2 weeks since we recorded. You better sit down, you better buckle up, cause Game Pass News is one crazy ride. Sean, so for those of you who forget, we are playing a new game where Sean guesses the game of the theme song. Did I hand you an easy one again? Was it easy? I don't know. I don't know your history with this game.
As soon as you could hear Kazooie, that's just sold. Easy. Kazooie.
Yeah, that's it. Now, to be honest, as we came to, as you jumped on the Zoom call, I realized, it's like days before Halloween. I really should have chose like something Halloween-y to go along with that, but I didn't, and it was too late. So you got Banjo-Kazooie. So good job. I'm gonna start making them harder. I am, but just thought
the
warn
best
people
thing
up.
with this is the editing the podcast ready for the audio release is so much fun because I can literally just cut the whole intro section. Because normally what I do is we use a different intro music, which is like a little bit of a breakdown of Doom. For the audio side of things, to those guys, you usually hear something different to what the live podcast hears. But yeah, they're now getting the whole intro kind of thing, because otherwise they'd be like, what the hell is Nick going on about? So, yeah.
It's good stuff. Oh man, how's your week been, pal? How are you feeling? We were off because of a lack of voice. So how are you feeling now, sir?
Well, we were off with a lack of voice, and then as crazy fate decides, we would have been off for the lack of somebody being able to not fall asleep at the wheel or have some kind of issue driving a semi-truck into a transformer. So, I don't know, fate kind of called it. But yeah, I'm okay. Throat's it's no longer sore to eat, which is nice. I can speak.
Yay.
I kind of like, I completely lost my voice. I think I did that little run of Scorn and then came off that and didn't speak for a while after that. And then I picked the kids up from school, and I tried to speak to the kids as I was picking them up, and I was like, oh dear, this really hurts, and I'm not making many sounds. So yeah, that took a good 24 to 48 hours of antibiotics for that to eventually the swelling to go down enough that it didn't hurt to talk. So yeah, I'm okay now. But, stupidly busy as we've entered into the period of time where I work, where I'm basically selling my soul for money. So, yeah.
I know.
Just
it's crazy.
the sticking sheets on the wall and just basically saying to everybody, if you put your name down for whatever shift you want between the normal shifts you work, you guarantee to get it. And when they're paying like after tax £300 a shift, it's like, okay, I need to go pay for Christmas. So
yeah, I get you. Yeah, I'm crazy busy too. Ariel my daughter dealt with a little bit of your stuff. She stayed home on Monday this week. Couldn't get her. Had to get her back in shape. No, it's Friday. Last week is what it was. So yeah, she was not doing the best, but she's doing a little bit better. Still fighting the crud a little bit, but she's getting there. Are you guys doing trick or treating this weekend?
We Monday evening, because it's my niece's birthday, we're going to my sister-in-law's, and we're going out as a family all together. So
nice.
That'll be when we do it. I do have a sad story about the pumpkin that I carved. It appears that if you carve a pumpkin from the bottom, spend an hour and a half carving it to look like a very nice, beautiful looking Among Us character, and then leave it inside where it is warm, You come downstairs one morning to a huge puddle all the way through the hardwood floor,
Oh no!
on the ground floor, and mush of a pumpkin. So
It just like melted, basically. Is that what happened?
I think it just because it was warm and it was sat within inches of a radiator, which is probably far on my point part.
Yeah.
The back of it had started to go rotten, and it just literally just caved in on itself.
Oh no, that's the worst. It was a really cool Among Us pumpkin. We'll have to post it on Twitter so that people can see it.
Luckily, it didn't damage the flooring, but all the MDF, like where the skirting or the baseboard, I think that's what you guys call it over there, the baseboard, where that sat against the hardwood, I'd put some really nice like MDF trimming all the way around to kind of blend it in a bit. That absorbs some of the water and is swollen. So once I'm going to wait until the bad weather's out of the way, because I'm not going to bother doing it now because the ground floor gets quite cold anyway in winter. So when spring comes next year, I've got like all the trimming to replace.
All because of a stupid pumpkin. Dang it.
Yeah. I mean, Logan's absolutely devastated. He was like, oh no, my pumpkin. Because like he loved that thing. The reason why it wasn't outside is because he wanted to see it every day.
And you're like, oh no, my baseboard.
No, I'm like, oh my God, the freaking pumpkin that I spent an hour and a half. Like, it's the first time I've ever I call it professionally carving. I was literally, I remember sitting on the kitchen floor and telling Lindsay I've missed a calling in life. It's
fun, isn't it?
I literally did it with a flick knife.
That's pretty awesome.
I had the little tiny serrated blades that you could use to carve and stuff like that, and that wasn't doing anything. And I used a vegetable peeler, which just didn't seem to be taking enough off. So I just used a flick knife that I had from a previous employer, and just went at it on the kitchen floor.
That's awesome. Yeah, I absolutely love carving pumpkins. It's so much fun. I said if I could make a living out of it, I would like perfect the skill and do it. I mean, I know some people do, but I probably couldn't perfect the skill enough. But I really do. I find it. I don't like detail work much, like most places. But just sitting there like carving away at a pumpkin I'm cool. I can sit there and do that. Like a lot of times when we're carving, the kids will be like, "Hey, Dad, look at this." Hey, I'm like, no, I'm carving. Leave me alone. I just want to do this. Just don't bug me. You can show me after I'm done.
There's a level of safety to that, though. Stop distracting me when I have sharp implements in my hands.
Yeah.
You want me to be able to hold my hands up and say, "Look, you're 10" when you get to 10.
That's right, exactly. Yeah, I will say it's been warmer over here. So I made a Splatoon pumpkin, and it was supposed to be like yellow paint on orange paint because I did the whole peel thing too. Now it's more like green paint on orange paint because it's pretty moldy at this point. Like, I mean, it's only been like a week, but it's pretty good and moldy. So yeah, and ours is.
Like I say, it's crazy. It's been ridiculously warm here through the day. We seem to be having, like, I think you guys have all had issues with gnats reading back and forth in the Discord, and we've been having exactly the same issues as well. The warm weather seems to be prolonging the insect life. So.
Hey, can you get to YouTube?
Yeah,
we have a YouTube issue at the moment.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's a thing. I mean, dumb people doing dumb things. It's just it's life. So yeah, we are also trick or treating. We are Sonic and Knuckles and Tails and Amy. Is that right? Are all those Sonic characters? Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, and Amy. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I had you going in my ears twice because they've gone to YouTube.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I get you. So we are all four of them, and dude, we have so much. I mean, it's ridiculous amount of trick or treating. They've already went once to one trunk or treat thing, and now we're doing. Now we have like 3 or 4 more trunk or treats that we're going to. One on Friday, one on Saturday, and then one on Monday. And I think we'll do some like around the town stuff too on Monday. So yeah, that's our trick or treating schedule. We'll have too much candy, and we'll probably give most of it away. Just I don't know where, but somewhere. So that is that. Sean, yep. Are you able to tell us about events?
I am. I'm putting fires out and telling people about events.
Nice. Sean's doing multi. So for those of you who are listening, Sean is taking care of a not very good internet community member who is saying stuff on that they shouldn't be.
I have a big feeling that was a bot. So
I'm sure.
I'm currently in the process of.
Let me tell about events while you take care of that. All right.
No, it's fine. I can't do anything about that from here. Yeah. So the events that we've got on, everybody knows about Achievement Hunters. We know that Deathloop was the current game that we were playing. And the time has come that everybody needed to submit their submissions. And they did. We had submissions from Justin, who is our on-the-ground correspondent for Halo and all things Halo. We had some from him. We had one from Ham on Johnny, one from Infinite20 or Infinite20 from Twitter, and the Googler King himself. All you guys entered. I want to take the time very quickly to say that this month's Grand Hunter Award goes to the Googler King because I think he even outdid me. So he scored the most. He was the one that managed to get the most amount of gamer score. So congratulations to you. And we're going to look at this nice, pretty spinny wheel that Nick has now brought up on the screen. And we're going to find out who has won the $15 eShop.
Yeah. So this is with 4 people. Ninja Lunchbox has 6 entries. Hambone Johnny has 3. Infinite20 has 85. Google King has 126. As we've already said, he's the Achievement Grand Hunter. Here we go. For $15, let's do it. With that large of a lead, I'm not super surprised. So Googler King is not only Grand Hunter, he's also the winner of $15. Thank you everybody for entering. We appreciate it. And Sean, what's next?
Yep. What is next? So everybody got very, very excited for the appearance of the Persona series coming to Xbox Game Pass, and so why not go with Persona 5? Persona 5 is going to be our next Achievement Hunters game. I will work in the next couple of days very hard to get the graphic out to everybody with all the details. But going forward from that, from tomorrow, which is 10/26, the 26th of October, all the way to the 29th of November, so 11/29. Play the game, get some game score, submit the photos to us via Twitter, Discord. You can email it at gamepassnewscast@gmail.com. Just get that to us by the 29th of November. And then I think we have a podcast a couple of days after that at the beginning of December. Mm-hmm. And that's when we will announce the winners.
Hey, Sean. After that, what game are we doing? After Persona 5 Royale, what game are we doing? Huh? Come on, you should know.
I'm assuming we'd probably go along and do something like High on Life.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do High on Life. There's no way we're not doing High on Life. That's right. I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy for everybody who's happy about Persona 5. It's not really my thing. And actually, to be honest, I thought I would at least play Deathloop a little bit. I watched you play it, and I kind of noped on it. Which, to be honest, I think a lot of Xbox community did. It was like a flash in the pan. I expected it to kind of last a little bit longer in the community, but I don't know. I didn't see a lot of people chat about it for very long. I don't know. You played it. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, there was a lot of repeatability issues with it, which wasn't nice. And that was, to me, the biggest issue I was having was just it was constantly repeating all the time. It was very difficult to figure out what you was doing from the get-go. So yeah, that was about as much as.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe everybody who wanted to play it had already played it on the PlayStation. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think we both expected it to have a little bit longer legs, and people just were kind of like, okay, that's a thing, let's move on, and that's pretty much what happened.
So very quickly, I want to take the time to say hello to Mitchell Broyles. Far, who's just said he's excited in the chat. He's saying GTA 6 2024. I'm with you with that. I'd love to see GTA 6 in 2024. I am all for the Rockstar hype train at the moment.
Nice. Well, all right. That's events. That's what we've been doing. Let's start talking about some. Yo, big news this week. Age of Empires coming to consoles on January 31st. Do you care, Sean? I'm not sure what you think of this. Real-time strategy
unfortunately
fun
not.
game?
Yeah, but it's point-and-click real-time strategy, which those point-and-click games with a controller are horrific. It's going to be difficult.
But they've been working on this one. You know,
yeah, they might have been working on this one, but if I still have to slowly scroll across with the analog stick and then have to be precise with the scrolling of the analog stick, even if you turn up the sensitivity, that's going to be difficult.
I do not disagree with you in one bit. I am excited to see what they bring to the table. Because I do love myself some Age of Empires, it's true. I've obviously, everybody's only played it on the PC because that's where it's at. But I'm excited to see what they can do for the console. I did not think that 2 Point Campus. I thought 2 Point Campus was done pretty well, to where you could manage all the stuff you had. But yes, I get it. You need to be a little bit more. You need to be able to be on stuff a little bit quicker, and the map is going to be bigger, and usually things are smaller. And so, yeah, this is a difficult one for them for sure. That's why I think it hasn't happened yet. But I would love to see them be able to do it. And I'd love to see it be able to be good. Now, and maybe the other thing is what they're really thinking is, sure, we'll throw some controller stuff in there, but you can play console games with a keyboard and mouse. So maybe they're really just thinking, we expect you're going to play it with a keyboard and mouse. I don't know. I've never tried to hook a keyboard and mouse to my Xbox. I know it's possible, but I've never tried to do it. So
yeah, me neither. I don't have a. Or do I have? No, I don't have a USB keyboard or mouse. So, but yeah, that'd be interesting to see if that could work.
Yeah, so. Yeah. If it's compatible that way, then maybe they'll get me to do it. I don't know, but I'm excited for it. Age of Mythology coming to PC Game Pass. I don't think they put a date on that, but they just kind of announced that it was like a hot trailer basically. So that's exciting. I'm all in on this Age of Empires news. I don't have a PC that I want to put this on. Can I play? Here's a question that I don't know the answer to because I'm the podcast and I should know it, but I'm just gonna throw it out there and see if see what we can come up with. Can I play Age of Empires, like this new can I play Age of Empires on xCloud? Through my PC? Is that something I can do? To.
Yeah, probably.
I'm looking this up right now because if I can do that, this could be something I would do.
I'm surprised with how powerful you have like some kind of grand wizardry of a powerful PC compared to the laptop I've currently got sat in front of me. So you should be able to run most of the xCloud stuff quite easy. I'm surprised you haven't got the Microsoft dashboard on there for games and are running it like PC Game Passes anyway.
Oh, I'll do cloud gaming on here, but I'm not going to put games on this thing. Otherwise, I'm just afraid it'll muck up the stuff renders pretty good and all that jazz. I just don't want to deal with mucking up the speed for the podcast and all the other stuff in YouTube and all the other stuff that I render and blah blah blah. And so yeah, that's why. It's not that I couldn't run it. It's that if I do, I'm afraid it's going to slow other stuff down.
I mean,
other stuff that I care about more.
Are your keyboard and mouse Bluetooth?
Yes.
I wonder if you plugged the Bluetooth dongles into the Xbox, would they still work?
I feel like these are questions that we are supposed to have the answer to.
Well, these are questions that
I love it. We're like, do you know how this works? I don't know. We need to find a freaking podcast or something that has these answers. That's the problem.
we could trial this. It could be a small experiment.
I love it. That's fantastic. Yeah, I really, I don't know the answer to any of those questions, and I feel like I should. Why do we ask ourselves questions that we don't have answers to on our podcast, Sean? That doesn't make any sense at all. Come on. What are we doing here? Anyways, we're just honest, guys. We're two dads that are just talking about Game Pass the best we can. Leave us alone. Oh man. Hey, Xbox has a mobile platform now. That's fun, huh? Gonna be able to get. So this is gonna work. This isn't gonna work on Apple, right? This is no way it's gonna work on Apple.
It depends. If they're gonna run it as an app store, then I can't see why they can't push those apps to the Apple App Store and be like, there you go, rather than just having an Xbox app to which then you download games from. Because, I mean, Netflix do that, but I can download all the games. If I tried to download the games that are on Netflix Store, it just directs me to the Apple Store and then download it that way. But I get to download it for free. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how that's going to work.
Well, maybe they could. So there was the whole Epic battle, right? There was a whole Epic battle with Fortnite about like, listen, they took their stuff off. They said, I'm going to take my ball and go home because I don't like your rules. They had a lawsuit about it. And I feel like in the end, Epic kind of won that the way I understand it. I mean, Fortnite's back on Apple, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so maybe Epic did the hard work. Maybe they can do this. And if that's the case, that's pretty fantastic. One, fantastic for Microsoft that they don't have to deal with the road's already been paved for them. So yeah, I don't know. I would be somewhat interested to see what else. So what this really means is they take all of, once Activision acquisition goes through, they take all of Activision's Candy Crush like games and everything that comes from King. I don't know if there's only Candy Crush. I don't know all the stuff King makes. All that
they do
stuff.
Lots of different things.
Yeah, I figured. They take all those games, they pull them off of like Apple and Android App Store, and they throw them onto Microsoft's mobile platform, and then you have to go there to buy them instead. So then they don't have to share a fee with whoever they're sharing a fee with now, whoever they buy it from, which seems like it'd be a lot of money, but I also feel like somehow that's not going to work. Like somehow I feel like that.
No, I'm going to say Candy Crush is already a free to download. You don't have to pay for it. It has an ecosystem within the game where you're paying for things like you're paying for an in-game currency to buy boosters.
But where do you buy that from? Like, does Apple get money? You think no? Okay,
directly through the app. So I'm assuming that Apple's App Store is basically just the front, but the people that get the money from that is King. But I'm assuming they have to pay kind of rent basically to have that store on the App Store.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if Microsoft are going to do the same sort of thing, it makes sense to try and be as friendly with Apple as you can at this point, because they're one of the largest mobile phone providers. So
yeah, but Microsoft's pretty huge, so they're not willing to be like they're not willing, or they're more than willing to like nudge their way in, or maybe not just push their way in.
Imagine you're Phil and Mr. Microsoft and Mr. Xbox, and you want to make this as readily available as possible. You're going to do all the things that you can do to have this readily available as possible and reach as many mobile devices as possible. You don't want to limit yourself to people that just have a Microsoft-based phone or an Android-based phone.
No, you don't. But I think they're willing to do that in the short term. They're willing to do an Epic if they have to, is what I'm saying. They're willing to say, hey, Apple, we're going to take all our stuff and put it over here, and then people are going to come to our stuff for that. And Apple's going to say, nuh-uh, and then they're going to have to take their ball and go home, and then they're going to take their ball and go to court, and then they're going to spend a ridiculous amount of money, and then the ball's going to end up... yeah. And then the ball's going to end up back where it was before, and lawyers are going to have a lot of money, and who knows what the result's going to be. That's what I think is going to happen.
Well, yeah, from a business sense, I would do everything I could to have it on every platform possible. If you're going to make a mobile platform, you want that readily available to as many people as possible, especially when you have a massive ecosystem like the xCloud and the whole of Game Pass. You want to have your basically subscription service available to everybody in their hands all at once.
I would agree. As Ebucel says, Microsoft is teeny. Very true. Small, little, scrappy startup just trying to make it, you know? Just trying
smaller than Sony, apparently.
If you listen to Microsoft talk about their Xbox department, that when they're talking about like acquisition stuff, that's fairly true. They're like, listen, we're like third place. We're basically like non-existent. I mean, there's no reason we can't have this acquisition. We pretty much suck. That's pretty much what they're saying.
There was so much of them talking up Sony and trying to make them feel better about all this situation of like getting Activision. They were like, hey, no, look, it's fine. We understand. We're taking one for the team. We'll never beat you. It's fine. Don't worry. We'll take this one home.
Yep, it's great. And then their PR team's like, don't listen. All right. And then it's like totally like they turn around and then they talk to the customer and they're like, we're amazing. We're the best. We're the best thing. Game Pass is everything. We're like first place basically, except if you look at the numbers, maybe we're not. But anyways, that doesn't matter. And then they go back to the court system and they're like, we suck. We should get this. So yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch this acquisition, to watch them talk on social media about their product to their customers and talk in a courtroom to these I don't know, competition marketing agent or associations or whatever, and talk totally different about their product. So I think it's fun, and I'm here to chuckle at it all day long. Next to Starfield, there was a video. Todd Howard came out and talked about Starfield. Not really anything worth much, other than there's 250,000 lines of dialogue, more than any other game by about 100,000 lines. Aren't you excited about all these lines of dialogue, Sean?
No, I'm literally looking through the other two games. Elder Scrolls Skyrim had 60,000 lines of dialogue, and I thought that was too much. And Fallout 4 had 111,000 lines of dialogue. Now, depending on what they class as a line of dialogue, like, just one word answers to stuff, if that becomes a line of dialogue, that's not too bad if you're going to have a couple of one-liners. But, jeez. Yeah. 250 lines of, especially if that's not voice-overed. That's a lot.
Oh, it better be voiceover. Well, but that'd be a lot to voiceover, so it's probably not all. It's probably a mixed bag, I'm sure.
Yeah. You don't want to get into the realm of talking about voice actors and having all.
No, we're not touching that. Don't even go there. I don't know. That is a lot to. That is a. I don't know. I mean, so here's my point to this. I think they are missing. I think we chatted about it. I think they are not reading the room right. They are pushing this game of like 1 million planets, 250,000 lines of dialogue, the biggest game ever known to the world. And I don't know, like, as I said to you, maybe I'm in a room full of dad gamers and we're all like, we don't have 5,000 hours to play this game. I don't understand. Maybe I don't even want to get involved. And so maybe it's just like my bubble of dad gamers that are like, nah, we don't got time for this. But man, it seems like it's a thing where it's like, listen, I don't know that I want a 500-hour game. Now they said that, and then they did roll it back a lot, like Dying Light. Was it Dying Light that did that same thing? They said it was like so many hours, and then they rolled it back to a much more. They're like, well, the main game can be beat in like 50 hours. Like, man, I don't know, though. They're pushing how big this game is, and I don't know if that's the marketing ploy to push, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the direct quote in the Pure Xbox article for this, it says, we've gone back to a classic Bethesda-style dialogue. You're looking at the character and how they emote. You have a series of choices here. We've just passed 250,000 lines. And so that's a lot of dialogue. But we've gone through it, and the impact is really there. And that includes my favorite speech persuasion system. It feels like it's part of the dialogue, but you're spending points to persuade them. It feels natural. I'm in this mode of persuading you to get what I want. Ugh, tripping up over myself there. So they seem very proud of this, but they also seem like it's going to add a lot of depth to the game, which, if done right, probably could add a lot of depth to the game. You're going to spend a lot of time haggling for prices on stuff and trying to get things out of people. But still, 250,000.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot. That's a lot of dialogue. But I mean, hey, I'm definitely in. I'm gonna play it. We'll just see. We'll just have to see how it all rolls out. I was thinking. You said how big is the dialogue? I bet Breath of the Wild has 250,000 lines of dialogue if you count every "hiya" as a dialogue. Like if that's like one line of dialogue, Zelda probably says that about 250,000 times. So, well, not Zelda. Link, excuse me.
And
don't troll me.
Ebisil has a really good point. Is you might not see all that dialogue depending on the choices that you take in the game. If you visit all the planets, you probably if you aim to go to every stretch of the game, you're going to get all that dialogue. And hats off to you for chasing that. But if you want to just play through the game, you find your way through it without having to visit all the planets and talk to everybody. Are you likely to not get that much? Yeah, probably.
That is true. That is those are our top stories. They're it's been 2 weeks, but it's been kind of I'm gonna fly through these news bulletins. If you got something to say, you just tell me. Just start speaking. Just
very, very, very quickly off the back of the mobile platform. Yeah, sorry. In the
no, you're fine. You don't need to be sorry.
I'm super excited for xCloud to come to Meta. That system will handle that so well. And they're not doing this as in like, oh, your Xbox games are going to be a native VR, so you're going to be able to sit there and look around in the car for Forza Horizon. You're going to be able to sit there and look at it like it's one huge giant cinema screen strapped to your face. This is great for the fact that, like, if I don't want to watch whatever the kids are watching or whatever Lindsay's watching, I can pop my headset on, pair of headphones, and I can go away and play xCloud games really, really well. Hopefully, really, really well. So yeah, that's fair. That was just, it was off the back of the mobile platform and the whole cloud gaming stuff. So I just wanted to say that it's coming to the VR world.
I am excited that you're excited, because when I read this, I was like, who the hell cares? Like, I mean, but I do understand what you're saying in the sense of like, hey, if I'm playing on my Logitech G Hub, whatever thingamajigger that just came out, that's like $200, dollars or whatever, then it is a 7-inch screen. But if you can put on the headset, I mean, I don't know, it can be pretty huge, right? You can be playing on a pretty large screen.
I can,
right? Or it would feel like you are.
If to put it into perspective, when I'm watching YouTube, it's like watching a YouTube video on a 70-inch TV.
Dang, I see. I'm understanding this now. I didn't get it at first, but you're winning me over.
I could lay down on my bed and play an xCloud game with a very comfortable feeling controller.
Yeah, I'm seeing this. All right.
Pure laziness and gaming.
That's right. I appreciate it. And you don't have to worry about your handheld like hitting you in the face. So, nope. Because it just sits there. I'm seeing it. Good news. I played a game called Medieval Dynasty. Talked about it 2 weeks ago. I said it was poopy. But now it has a patch, which, to be fair, I have not played. But everything I have heard is the pop-in is gone. It looks much better. It plays much better. It runs much better. So kudos to them for getting on it and getting it fixed. That's the way to do it. So if you heard me speak about it last time and you were like, I'm staying away from it, now you might want to check it out. I'm going to try to get to it, but I have playing another game that I'm slightly addicted to that we'll talk about later. Fallout 4 gets a free next-gen update with bug fixes. Hopefully now I can get Codsworth to give me a mission, and then I can play this game. That would be amazing, because that's where I got stuck the first time.
Are you excited to go back and try that?
Excited is a difficult word, Sean. No, I mean, it's just such a long game, right? Like when I started, so for those of you who don't know, that is the first game I started on Game Pass with Xbox. I was like, Fallout 4, heard so much about it, and I really was like, this is cool, I'm in, let's start. And then I talked to Codsworth within like an hour of playing that game, maybe less than that. And but I roamed around that world for like probably two or more hours trying to figure out what I had to do. And then I finally talked to Sean, and Sean's like, "You just got to talk to the robot." I was like, "Oh, I talked to the robot. I've shot the robot. I've hit the robot." I was like, "Robot, not doing it for me." And sure enough, it's a bug. So I just don't know if I want to. This update, next gen update, I believe is coming out next year. There's just so much coming out next year, Sean. Like, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, as long as we get graphical updates with that as well, because they are slightly dated. So if we can get some decent graphical upgrades along those as well, that'd be quite nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's so features for 4K resolution, performance mode features for high frame rate, along with quality features for 4K resolution gameplay. Two of the big reasons behind this upgrade, Bethesda says. Also, there will be bug fixes to come as well. So yeah, I mean, you're definitely getting all those things, but we'll just have to see. We'll have to see when it comes out and all that jazz. Sims 4 free to play. That's interesting. I'd love to jump into Sims 4. I'm probably not going to, but I would love to see what that's all about. I haven't played it in so long.
It's too dangerous for you to be playing two big sandboxing games.
Yeah, I can't play two. One would die, and so anyways, Elite Series 2 has joined the Xbox Design Lab. Sean, when are you getting one? When are you gonna do it? You said you're gonna do it. When are you gonna do it?
It'll be after Christmas as a Christmas present to myself.
Nice. I like it. I cannot wait to see the controller that Sean designs. Very excited to see what you come up with.
I'm just excited you can change the color of the light on the Xbox symbol for the home button.
So is that a design feature, or can it be changed to multiple colors while you like any color you want while you have it?
When you go in to do that, you need to go into your device settings, and you can control it from there. You can pick any color you want, any gray, like any shade of the color as well. And you set it to a profile, and because the Series 2 has, I think, 3 profiles, when you change the profile button, the X button had changed, so you can have it set for like red for Call of Duty, blue for Forza Horizon, and green for just general gaming.
That is pretty cool. I do agree with that. I just don't have a need for a controller that's high end. That is that high end at the moment. Maybe I'll find a game and I'll be like, now I need it. But at the moment, I can't find a reason for it.
What game was? I use the paddles in Plague Tale.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're matched to the X and Y button.
All right. Well, that's cool. I can't wait to hear how you're taking on with Plague Tale. That's cool. Norco and Humankind were supposed to be out this year. That's not happening now. They got booted to 2023, along with every other game known to 2022. That's not true. That's not true.
A lot of them. Didn't Humankind get a indefinite delay?
Oh, that's true. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Humankind did get an indefinite delay. That's true.
Norco has been pushed to 2023, where Humankind has just got pushed.
That's it. That is exactly it.
Which is sad to see, because people were really excited for that game. So I don't know. They didn't really explain as to why. I think they had to go back and redevelop a lot of the engine and ground up kind of desigin. So that's kind of why they've gone indefinite.
I appreciate you, but my man here is going to do something. If he's doing anything sports, it's going to be like F21 racing or something, not Manchester United. Ebuso wants to know if you're going to do a Manchester United controller. So
no, my favorite color is green, so that will probably be a big. Yep.
So yeah, that is it. With in the Acquisition Watch. I don't know. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I suck. Call of Duty will be restricted on Xbox Game Pass, confirms Microsoft. So there will not be any day one Call of Duty for a few years. That's what what they said.
Can they hold that? Okay, I'm assuming that's for new games. They can't stop people from having the old games.
No, that's not day one. Yeah, they're just talking games. So, like, the next Call of Duty that comes out, this is how I read it, at least. We don't really have a confirmation of this, but how I read it...
The next one that comes out is out in 2 days. So
Yeah, well, that one's not making that. That one's not going to be day one. So what I'm saying is,
No.
when they will put that one in 2023 on Game Pass, along with like when the acquisition happens, they'll put that one and probably every other Call of Duty after it on Game Pass because it's not day one. But the next one that comes out will not be on Game Pass day one. I don't know how long they're going to have to wait. It may be a year. A year seems to be the sweet spot, right? I mean, if you look at Deathloop and a lot of other games, that seems to be the thing where they're like, it's been a year. Now it goes to now it goes on to game. Now it goes to Xbox and Game Pass can do. That seems to be the year exclusivity. So I don't know. Maybe it'll wait a year and then be on Game Pass. Sounds about right to me. But
I'm quite happy. Yeah, I am going to pick up Modern Warfare 2, the recent release, due to the fact that I believe that will end up being on Game Pass as soon as the acquisition goes through. So I'm saving myself some money there, and I'll just wait to play it. Because I'm actually excited for the campaign on that one.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. So, like, I was just looking at Ghostwire Tokyo, because I know that game is definitely coming to Xbox, but there was another one of those games that was already inked as an exclusive. So that game came out in March 25th. So we'll have to see what happens to that in March of next year. See if it's like an exact year. So anyways. But yeah, I mean, this definitely is a bummer for hardcore Call of Duty fans. That they don't want to have to wait. I mean, they don't want to have to wait for their deal. So that may dissuade some people from Game Pass that were previously like, hey, I'm definitely on Game Pass for Call of Duty. But if they can't have it day one, they may not be interested. So
yeah, but you're still getting the back catalog of games, which if a lot of people get the back catalog of games, especially for Black Ops 2, if you can get Black Ops 2 with all the multiplayer niceness, that's gonna do well for Game Pass because to date, I think that game is still like £45 to buy a pre-owned copy of. So
yeah, I would imagine there's some. So it's Modern Warfare. No, Warzone is the battle royale, free to play. Yeah. So like Warzone is going to have some awesome Game Pass perks. I would almost 100% guarantee.
Yeah.
Like that would be my thought. Like they're going to do
that might drag me back in.
Yeah. So, yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I will, like I said before, I will play the campaign ones. I'm not jumping into any of Warzone. I don't want to get beat up. It hurts my feelings. So I get beat up enough in Splatoon, Sean. I mean, Splatoon. And I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know.
That's on Emily's Christmas list. Is Splatoon 3. So I think I'll probably dabble with it a little bit once we've got that. So
yeah. All right. What's coming to Game Pass? What has come to Game Pass in the last previous week and this week? So Persona 5 Royale, which we kind of already talked about, dropped on Friday, is out and able to play. Not a Sean or Nick game, but happy for all of you who are happy that it's now available on Game Pass. Phantom Abyss. Sean, did you play this at all?
No, I played very little due to being very busy, so I haven't had an option to. Because this looked like it was a free running kind of game.
Yeah. This is a really interesting game. Well, I guess I did play it, so I guess I could save it for what I've been playing. But I'll just save it for what I've been playing. Sorry. The Amnesia collection, I don't know a whole lot about it. Horror-y type stuff. Plague Tale Requiem, I haven't made it to it yet. I feel so bad about that. But Plague Tale Requiem is out now. Been out since last week. Coming out in 2 days, Frog Detective, The Entire Mystery, and Gunfire Reborn. I'm actually kind of interested to jump into Gunfire Reborn. It's a level-based adventure game featuring first-person shooter, roguelite, and RPG elements. Players control heroes with various abilities to experience diverse build gameplay. I watched a I watched a trailer on it, and I don't know, it just looks really good. I definitely think I'll pick it up and play it for a little bit, and see where that takes me. And then I don't really know anything on Frog
Yeah,
Detective, the entire mystery.
Frog Detective literally looks like you're a frog and a detective, and there is a mystery to solve. The Haunted Island release, the game was 1 hour long.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So yeah.
Do I have a monocle or like a detective hat?
It looks like you have some kind of spyglass. That's the word I'm looking for.
Okay. All right.
Magnifying
Fair enough.
glass.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It passes then. I'm good with that. As long as I got one of those two, I can handle that. Signalis comes out also on the, what's the 27th? I should not.
27th. Yeah.
Yes, 27th. That one is, I didn't write. Signalis is set in a dystopian future where humanity was colonized, the solar system and totalitarian regime maintains an iron grip. I just wanted an idea of what it was. Do you think I got that? Heck no. Heck no, I didn't get that. Well, I don't know. I'm sorry.
That one has slipped through the net for me. So.
Yeah, I get you. Next week, we can look forward to Legend of Tianding. Is that how you would say that, Sean?
Tianding, yeah. It's a side-scrolling action game about Liao Tianding, the legendary Taiwanese folk hero. You get to explore dazzling streets of colonial Taiwan. It looks quite interesting. I mean, I'm just looking at images. It's I don't know how the battle system is for it, but it looks like it's a side-scrolling kind of talk your way through a little bit of RPG kind of look. You got a 95% on GameFAQs. So
nice. Ghost Song is the next one for next week. On a Desolate Moon. This is a 2D kind of platformer. Looks like a adventure action game. Journey beneath the surface on an atmospheric 2D adventure of self-discovery, ancient mysteries, and cosmic terror. Explore winding caverns and acquire new abilities to unearth the aliens' world's long-buried secrets. So
you see why? To me, that looks like it has. This is a Humble Games game.
It is, yes.
It looks like it could be a bit Metroidvania.
Could be, yeah. It could have that. I could see that in it. Humble Games and Game Pass are good friends, aren't they? Well, there's a lot
definitely.
of Humble Games on Game Pass for sure.
Definitely.
Yep. I lost my page. Sorry. All right. Do you know what's going on new in Games with Gold? Because I don't.
I think Windbound is still there, and that's there until the end of October. Double Kick Heroes has disappeared, and the only other game is Bomber Crew Deluxe, I believe. I haven't seen anything new teased as of yet. So,
gotcha. And going away in 6 days. 6 days, we are losing 8 games. Alan Wake's American Nightmare, Backbone, Bassmaster Fishing 2022, Nun Guns, Doppelganger, Project Wingman, Second Extinction, Sniper Elite 4, and The Forgotten City. I have heard that you should play through The Forgotten City. It's 6 hours. People are saying it's a really good game. It takes about 6 hours to beat. It's kind of a Roman detective type game, and I've heard really good things about it. I plan to play it, but I have not gotten to it yet. But the word on the street is that's the one to not miss.
Also, with the remastered version of Alan Wake coming, to get a taste of how the game might play, I'd definitely jump into American Nightmare because they ironed out a couple of the issues from the first game, which I'm hoping they have carried that over into the remaster. So
nice. All right. And with that ends all of what's going on in all the top stories, news bulletins, and Game Pass. Let's go to the Xbox Spotlight.
Joe, I will go first as my list is very small because I have been far too busy to play games. I'll start with the non-Xboxy related stuff because that I have played more of that than anything else. Due to the Mario trailer dropping, Logan wanted to play lots of Mario games, so I thought I'd introduce him to Mario Odyssey. He's been doing very well with Super Mario 3D World on his DS. So we started playing Mario Odyssey. He was Cappy, I was Mario. We rolled credits in about 4 days.
Nice. Good job, guys. Did you start a fresh save and do everything from the beginning?
Yeah,
Cool.
I had a save that had 986 moons, I believe, something like that. And I deleted it just to play it with him.
Aw, that was nice of you.
So now what we're doing is we're kind of going through and we're getting all the odd little bits. It's teaching him a lot about how to control Mario in a 3D world. So I'm kind of hoping once a new one comes out, because the Switch that he's getting for his birthday, he might actually start playing it. And then off the back of that, he wanted to play different Mario games. So because of the NSO expansion, I went all the way back to the NES and let him have half an hour playing each Mario game. So he did Super Mario Bros, Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario Bros. 3. He wasn't keen on Super Mario Bros. 2.
Yeah,
that's preferred
right. It's good, man. Got good taste. I can appreciate it.
1 and 3. And then we jumped to the SNES and we played Super Mario World, which he liked that because you got Yoshi in the first level.
Yeah.
He enjoyed that. And then we jumped to the N64 and let him rip on Mario 64, and he loved that by a long shot. That was the one he played, and he played it for a good hour and a half. I think he got to eight stars with very little help. So
good for him. I commend him. God bless him for liking Mario 64.
Yeah, the camera issues didn't seem to faze him too much, so it was nice. It was good to see. Lindsay locked herself away in the bedroom because she was doing her. She had an assignment that was due that was 5,000 words long, so she kind of just locked herself in the room, and it was a really crap day outside weather-wise. So I kind of just went, you know what? Let's do that. Let's just sit on the beanbag together, and you can go through as many different Mario games. And it was a good day. It was a good day.
That's fantastic. Those are good days. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I'm like, God, I wish it was nastier because I just feel like sitting here not doing anything, and I feel bad that that's what I want to do. I'm not going to lie. I actually look forward sometimes to the rainy Saturdays, and I'm like, yes, I don't have to feel guilty for sitting here when I feel like I should be outside doing something with the kids that doesn't involve TV. That's my confession. There you go.
And then the only Game Pass Xbox related game I've been playing is I started Plague Tale 2. After the back of you going on and on about how great Plague Tale was and how it was great watching, and the name of the main female character has slipped my mind. Arania?
I can't remember either. I'm sorry. I haven't started playing it yet.
Yeah, you watched how she grew and how it was very. So I went and played that. First impressions were this is very much Xbox's version of The Last of Us. That you are you don't have many weapons. You can just kind of stun people with rocks, that kind of stuff. The puzzles I'm really enjoying. I'm still yet to try and fully understand what on earth is happening to the young boy who his name is Hugo. I don't understand what's the name of the thing that's wrong with him?
I don't know. He has the rat thing.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out why it's so important that the rats are coming to him. I haven't figured that bit out yet.
Okay,
I've just started the third act.
So what you're telling me is it's the macula.
The macula, yeah.
Yeah.
So you definitely need to have played the first one to fully understand the story for the second one. That is apparent within the first 10 minutes of playing the game.
Amicia is her name.
Amicia.
Yeah. So yeah, that's interesting. I really am excited to play this game. I promise. And I'm gonna play it. God bless it. That's all I gotta say.
So, but yeah, The controls for it are great. I like the sneaking element, which is quite heavy from the get go of the second one. You end up getting up to this little castle area, and you kind of had to play a game with the older brother, whose name I still can't. I can't remember so bad with names.
Hugo,
Recently.
isn't it Hugo?
No, Hugo's the boy, isn't he? The younger one.
Oh yeah, the young. Oh, I don't know who's still with you at this point. Yeah,
So
I don't
you've got
know his name.
The mother, an older boy, Hugo, and Amicia.
Yeah, he's probably the medicinal.
Yeah, he's
guy.
an alchemist.
Yeah, he's the alchemist. I can't think of his name, but yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he's not their brother.
Okay.
But he picked him. They picked him up in the last journey.
Right. So you kind of start off just exploring an area near a castle, and it instantly teaches you how to sneak and how to like stay out of people's views, which is you need that for sure. And then you go, it's good. I'm enjoying it. The graphics are really nice. It plays really well. The puzzles are good. The strategy for getting through situations is really, really good as well. So, that's all I played.
That is interesting to me. I kind of wondered what that would look like, just because in the first game you start off in that same way, but by the end you're like just slinging stones at people, right? And you're just like in the beginning you're the only option you have. So it's like I wondered if they would start her off in that same kind of like BA way of like she's just slinging stones and taking out people. But it sounds like they kind of like put her back down to just doing stuff secretively.
So in the first,
so that'll be an interesting transition.
In the second act, you go from sneaking and slinging stones to stun people and knock them out to you can mix sulfur and alcohol together to make flames and stuff like that. With your slingshot, you can set fire to the rocks, and because you need to clear the rats. So there's a little bit of crafting element to it there.
That's the part that like, so they're trying to pick up like as I've read 3 months after the first game, right? And you learn all those things in the first game. So it's like, is there a story beat to why now she doesn't know how to mix sulfur and alcohol to make fire? Like I guess that's the part.
There's no necessity for it in the first two acts, or within the first act and a half. There's no necessity for you to have that because it's daylight.
Okay.
They instantly drop you into the darkness, and the rats come. So then you have a need to be able to set fire to.
Yeah, and she's not we need to learn how to. As long, I'm interested. I'm even more interested now just to see how they do that transition.
They even say, "Oh, remember we can use sulfur and alcohol to do this."
Yeah. Okay.
So it sounds like they've transitioned that really well. They have literally gone from one game to the next in one really, really good transition, then, which is nice. It's nice. I like it when a game does that, and it doesn't kind of have to make you relearn everything all over again.
Yeah, because that's the worst, right? Like, you're like, wait, no, I did this in the last game. I should know all this stuff. Like, I learned it all.
It's the only downside I ever have to an actual Metroid game is that, in previous versions of the game, you could speedrun, you could do all the fantastic jumps and stuff, and it's like, oh no, Samus has lost all her powers again, and you've got to go and find them out. So yeah, that's the only turn off I have with Metroid, but obviously the game would be far too easy if you could be fully powered all the way through.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's a beautiful game. It's really nice. I can't wait to play some more, which is like once everybody's back at school, because it's half term here. So once everyone's back at school and I'm not working as much, I will definitely be making my way through that.
Cool. I finished Costume Quest last week, and I am excited about that game. If you are looking for a fun Halloweeny game that's not too scary, that you can play with the kids, man, this game is a blast. I mean, the writing is hilarious. It's spot on. It's not too difficult to play. You know, as long as there is some spots where you really do need to go around and try to fight all the enemies, kind of like, you know, to get leveled up. The last boss is a little tough. I'll say that was the toughest one, or second to last actually. But yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, the game is just such a blast. So you're this kid who loses his sister, and you're trick-or-treating in this neighborhood, and you have to go around the neighborhood and try to find them. When you knock on the door, you might get candy, which you can use to buy upgrades, or you might get a monster, which then throws you into a turn-based battle. And there's secrets to find in the neighborhood. You gotta go certain ways. You get new costumes, which gives you different abilities. It'll help you traverse the neighborhood in certain ways to get to secretive areas. Also, that's how you choose who you want in your party. So you might want like the robot and the unicorn, which is pretty hilarious, or you might want like the ninja and the spider. I don't know, man. It's a really good game. Costume Quest is great. Don't let that one pass you by. It took me, I don't know, 6 to 8 hours to beat it. And it's a lot of fun. I picked up Minecraft, not picked up, but I downloaded Minecraft Dungeons for me and Noah, and he is absolutely loving that game. So we've played just the first little bit of it, not very far at all, but we're having a lot of fun with that game. Also, Let's Build a Zoo. Me and Ariel started to play that game. This is a top-down logistic strategy game where you're putting down cages and getting animals. I will say the one interesting side of it that's kind of fun with a kiddo is to be like, you find an animal. There's a morality side to it. It's like, hey, we found this animal. We could just put it for free in our zoo and we'd make more money, or we could put up signs in the neighborhood and say we found this animal and see if that person needs it. And the choices you make affect what is available to you later on in the game. And so that's kind of fun. It's fun. It was fun to be there with Ariel and be like, hey, what do you think we should do? We'll make more money and we can get those things you want, but do you think that's the right thing to do? What would you want? What would you want somebody to do if that was your dog or whatever, So yeah, that was an interesting piece to it that I did not know. And finally, where I have spent 97% of my time, I'm slightly addicted, Disney Dreamlight Valley. People are like, oh my God, are you kidding me? That's what you're playing on the Xbox? Yes, that's what I'm playing on the Xbox. And I absolutely adore it. It is such an easy, just chill game. I'm upgrading all my people. I'm getting everybody in my town. I'm opening up all the areas. I'm collecting all the stuff. I have chests everywhere in my house, Sean, because I have like the max amount of all the different items just in case I need them for a quest. I don't have to like wait anymore. I just like go to my little box. They just opened up another event, the villains event. So Scar is now in the town. I'm working through some stuff, working through his quests. Yeah, this is a chill game. And I will say this, I actually am not a fan of the designing in this game. It's got a real issue with the design. What I like to do is collect the stuff and upgrade the relationships of the people to get them to 10. That's what I like to do. When that happens, I don't know if I'm going to go back to it to play it for just like, if the event doesn't unlock a new character, I don't think I'm going to care, just to be honest. The designing aspect in this game is not very good. And the dialogue in this game is not very good, in the sense that like they just say things. It's like they just spew crap out of their mouth, and it doesn't matter if the context fits, right? So it's like Minnie will be walking by and she'll be like, "Oh, the flowers need the rain today," and I'm like, "Dude, it's not raining. Like, what are you like? This rain's gonna be great for those flowers." And I'm like, "It's not raining." Or you'll like go up to somebody and be like, "Hey, let's hang out, because you get like extra points if you hang out with somebody while you're foraging and collecting stuff. And they'll be like, that sounds great. Let's do that. Okay, see you later. But yet they follow you. It's just like, I mean, like there, it has its issues, but it is in, early access or whatever it is. So they're not horrible issues. Go ahead.
I do have an interesting stat for you.
Oh, you did not look up my shit, did you?
I looked up your shit. Do you want to take a guess?
No, no, I don't.
You are 7 minutes over 3 days.
I said it was a lot. Okay. Wow, really? No way. Yep. That's got to be a
3 days, no hours, and 7 minutes. And you were last online playing this 4 hours ago.
Yeah, that's true. That's a legit truth. I can't argue with that part. Man, are you sure? Are you sure?
You've unlocked 2 out of 15 achievements. You only have 100 gamer score in this game. So
I know. Isn't that hilarious?
24, 48, 72 hours and 72 hours and 7 minutes, and you've only unlocked 2 achievements.
Man,
so
I'm glad. I'm a shitty gamer.
No, I'm just glad we didn't do this for achievement hunters, because that's interesting. Because you, I mean, I know how into this game you are. I won't go into how I know how into this game you are.
Oh, you can say it. I made a spreadsheet to figure out which crop gave me the most money. It's cool. I'll own this crap. That's fine. Yes, I made a spreadsheet to know.
And you're doing that because you want to get everybody to, and it's level 10 is the maximum you can get everyone to. So you want to get everyone to the maximum level, because that unlocks more stuff for you, and it benefits you in a way where you get double the amount of stuff while you're foraging. You'll get more coins, you get this, that, and the other. So that's fair enough. So for somebody that's doing that much foraging, that much planting, that much crafting, and that much making lots of people friends, I am surprised that you've only got 2 out of 15. Has nothing to do with you as
right.
I understand. That's the game. I'm surprised that the game has only got 15, and I'm surprised that it's taken you that much. I mean, the 2 achievements that you got, one of them's for
opening up the game,
which means you've taken 50 photos, and the other one is Goofy Infester. So you've unlocked all of Goofy's stalls.
Wow, that's that is interesting. And I just unlocked was that no, I don't think it's a spoiler. I just unlocked all of Wally's garden too, which is funny because unlocking Goofy stalls costs maybe 25,000. No, more than that, I guess. But anyways, unlocking Wally's stuff, there's like 7 of them, and they go up 10,000 each time, and they start at 20,000. So like that cost a ton of money, and I didn't get anything for it. Like it didn't pop an achievement at all. So I don't know how that works, but it is a game that I am absolutely loving. I will say, when this game dropped, there was a lot of issues on Switch about freezes and all that jazz, and I did not have any. But in the update, in this villains update, that is not true. I have had about 3 freezes since the update, and none before. So something, it's not horrible, and the game saves ridiculously often, so that's great. It hasn't really like affected me in any way. But something in the update did affect Xbox in at least some way. But that's where I'm spending most of my time. Anything else before we go to the party chat, sir?
No, that's it. I mean, I'm gonna struggle going back to Scorn. I'm finding that game. Yeah, I'm finding that game frustratingly difficult. So, but I'll keep trying. I can't. There's no way I'm able to play with the kids at home. That game is just too to play around the kids. So.
Yeah, like me. Yeah. Can't play around me. I'm playing that game. That game looks. Yeah, I'm just listening to you and Justin in chat be talking about like pulling stuff out of your stomach and weird shit, and I'm like, I'm out for sure. All right, on to what you be talking about as a community.
So we have 3 questions.
Sweet.
We have one that came from the episode that didn't happen, which we should name this episode. The episode that didn't. I don't know. I'll think of something way later. It's 1:00 in the morning.
It sounded really good when I didn't say it.
Yeah. So yeah, the first question comes from Mr. Zablank. This is the one that was coming to us 2 weeks ago. What are your opinions on game editions these days? It seems to be the style that every fucking game that launches with 2 or 3 different editions, and you have to stress about which one to buy, inevitably being teased to pluck down $90 for a game. Like, what's our take on this?
Hint, hint, Mario Rabbit, or I guess Xenoblade. There's like a lot of them. He's not wrong.
Dreamlight Valley did it, so
That's true. That's true. They did. Yeah. Man, that's a good question. I don't plunk down for the biggest baddest selection in the beginning. I just don't. I do find it annoying though, because it does, like, I do know that if I like it or something, I'm probably going to end up paying more money in the end than if I just plunk down the money in the beginning. And it does give me anxiety. I totally agree with John on that. So yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, this takes me into the whole DLC debate, because to me, if you're going to sell a game at 3 different tiers because you're going to be later on releasing some shit for this game, don't make me pay more for it. Because obviously, if you've got the ability to have it working on stuff still for this game and it hasn't come out with release, don't fucking release the game, because that just annoys me, and I can get really mad about that, because lots of games do it now. Lots of games that I like do it. Mario Rabbids, Dying Light did it. There's a standard edition. Forza does it. FIFA does it. It's like, if you want people to either make it so then the game is just $60-$70 rather than, I think I saw Mario Rabbids today for £42. So it's like, rather than it being just £42, make the game £60. Everybody gets everything for £60. Or make the game £60 and then later on release the DLC and be like, okay, if you want it, you're going to have to pay more for it. But to kind of say, buy the standard game, you have to pay for the DLC later. Buy this version of it and you'll get the first DLC and maybe this really cool looking gun. Or buy the third one and you get everything free from later on, and here's extra like 6 different skins and 2 different guns that you can't get unless you buy this version of the game. It's just, yeah, it makes me unhappy.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, because in my mind, this is more like the evolution of DLC. So, like, when DLC first came out, that's exactly what happened. The game came out, and then it just seemed like a month or 2 later, they were like, there's DLC now, and people were like, what the hell? We just bought this game. But now they're like, well, listen. Now it's like, listen, this is the game that we wanted to put out right here. This is the Mario Rabbids game. But we have created more content, and if you so choose to want it, that's going to cost extra money because it's not really part of the game that we put out.
Yeah, but that stuff isn't available right at the release of the game. That's the bit that annoys me.
Well, but like in Mario Rabbids, it is. In what John is talking about, it is. It's these games where it's like, listen, do you want the deluxe, the gold, the platinum, the murky bronze, the slightly shaded
tinted
silver? I don't know, whatever. Yeah, but there's like, there's multiple different ones. It's like 60, 80, 100, and you're like, I don't know. But that is the thing where it's like, God, I don't know if I'm going to want $100. I don't always go back to DLC. Like, I just don't. Like, it just doesn't. The best example is Animal Crossing, a game of which I've put many months, literal gaming months in. And the DLC came out, and it was every freaking thing we wanted. We sat and talked about all these things we wanted, and it was all of it. And I was just like, I'm kind of done with that. And I never went back and finished it. It just I was done, and I moved on. And so it's like, and so I get what John's saying. It's like, well, yeah, I will love this game, but do I want to plunk down $90 for a game that I might just be finished with after the $60 version? But if I'm not, then I'm gonna probably end up paying $60 for the DLC or the to unlock the other edition, because I didn't purchase it up freaking front. So
yeah, the free versions they've got is Standard Edition, Cosmic Edition, which includes full game and additional downloadable content, digital content. are the Gold Edition, which just says includes full game and the Season Pass. So I'm assuming the Season Pass is for the digital stuff that's available now, but also says to me that because you've bought a Season Pass, you'll be able to get stuff that's available in the future for no further purchase price.
Oh, so that's what you're saying. You mean, okay. I do somewhat see what you're saying there because it's not. Yeah. Okay. So it's not available. All right. I get it. I thought you meant like the option to buy it wasn't available now, but the content isn't yet available. So you don't really know what you're buying, which I guess is the other problem, right? You don't entirely know what you're about to purchase or what you have purchased for the future.
That's it. Because you're investing in playing that bit of the game later on. So which yes, if you've put that money down for the game, you're probably going to be playing the DLC later on. But if you put money down for the game, play the main game, and aren't initially turned on by the main game, and then don't go back to it, you're screwed. And that game, you can't sell that game on because you've already claimed the code. That game then becomes useless to everybody else. You'll have the Gold Edition, but you won't have the availability to have the rest of the stuff that came with the Gold Edition. So for resale value, if you're not happy with the game, you'll never recoup your money ever.
That's fair. That's a good point. Yeah, but let me tell you, I am liking that game. But we'll talk more about that next week when you've played it a little bit. If you get to it then. I
probably won't get this game until sometime mid-December, unfortunately.
Well, freaking A, Sean. I guess I'll just say I really like it, but I think they've upped the difficulty, and I think it's a bummer because it's a little too hard for my kiddos. It just there's more moving parts in this one than there was in, and this isn't a cut on it's not a knock on the game. It just they've made it a little bit more difficult than the first game, and so it's a little bit harder for Noah to be like, he's kind of just like, Dad, why don't you play and I'll just watch, which is fine. The game is great, it's fun. I love the fact that it's like Super Mario 3D World kind of open worldy kind of thing where you can run around and in the world and you trigger battles that way instead of this linear like here's a flag, start a battle. So I'm all in. I'm only through the first world, but I'm absolutely loving it. So that's what I'll say.
Well, the second question, and I'm a little bit excited for this question because I was thinking about this earlier. I was around at my friend's house and I was discussing like the questions that we sometimes get asked because he asked how we were doing. It's come from Hambone Johnny. I think this is the back of like Nintendo being very close with Lego at the moment, and they bring things out like the amazingly huge Bowser, which the Dads After Dark guys have built, and it looks great. If Lego ever does a partnership with Xbox, what builds would you be interested in? And he says, the sky's the limit. He just wants to hear our best ideas. So, my dream, life-size version of the Series X with working lights, and you can open it up, and inside there's homage to all the different games that are like available with Xbox. So you're going to have like a Doom guy section that you have to build, Halo section that you've got to build, a Deathloop section. So all the big games under Xbox, like Forza section where you like have to build the car on a stand and things like that. So you open it up and it's just like wall to wall homage of all the different games.
That's pretty sweet.
It's like, and I got that off the back of the idea of the guy's house that I was at. He's big into his Lego. He has the T-Rex scene from Jurassic Park. He had that. He literally just finished building that, and it like with the car that was upside down, the T-Rex had burst through the fence and stuff like that. He had Thor's hammer, which had all the different trinkets inside from the Thor films, like the Tesseract and stuff like that. And then he showed me the next Jurassic Park one that he's getting, and inside the gates for the Jurassic Park gates, in the pillars, it has like all different parts from scenes in the films. And that kind of like just sprung me straight into that idea that solid base, life size Series X, so it's a good like half a meter tall. You with the Xbox logo, work like a pushable button that lights, and then you open it up, and inside is all the niceness.
Yeah, you have a much more creative answer than I have. So let me first say that. I immediately thought of like a life size or like a human size Master Chief helmet. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Um, and then just going through the stuff like a Gears the chainsaw gun that they have. Those were two that I was like, especially the helmet. I probably wouldn't get the chainsaw gun, but I would get the Master Chief helmet for sure. Like that would be
Yeah.
super cool.
I'd quite like the Xbox logo. You know, you can get the light that's like a round globe.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
That'd be nice, and you'd be able to build that as well.
That would be real fun, especially if they can make it light up too, like the one on the shelf. So I think all those things would be cool. I would love to see Lego partner with Xbox, and I'm sure Xbox would be more than open to it. So
sounds like Noah's quite happy about that too.
yeah, apparently I don't know what's going on up there. They're decorating pumpkins for school. I know what's going on up there. So
okay. Sounds like the teens next door want to sleep. So yeah,
good for you.
Well, the last question is from Bruce. He says, besides Game Pass, can you sway me away from buying a PS5 in February or March?
Well, Bruce, the PlayStation is just a bunch of whiny, bratty, sniveling kids. Okay? I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, why are you even going there? I mean, look at, I can't even remember the CEO's name. He's whining about not having his Call of Duty. Like he needs a bottle to calm him down. I can't remember that guy's name. And he's all like, but my people don't have all the stuff. Like you don't want to be in that. You don't want to be there. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing, Bruce. I would never tell. I would. You just got to look at the games and know where you want to go. That's kind of it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you should be with us. I mean, we're cooler than most, but I can't tell you.
The other thing I was going to say is if you get an Xbox, you're going to feel more relatable to the podcast because you'll know the games that we'll be talking about.
Definitely.
But let's go with this tech-wise. Sony has more processing power, but Xbox has it's greater output. It runs quicker. The quick resume system works very, very well. Apart from it doesn't work very well with Scorn for some reason. So there's that. You've got access to lots of awesome Game Pass games, which obviously you're saying aside from Game Pass. The controllers are nicer. You can get lots of different design controllers. You've got the whole design labs for the Elite controller. You've got it for just normal controllers. It looks cooler. It doesn't look like a giant piece of artwork from Dubai.
Yeah. That is great. That is a great call out. It does. It looks like those things you see in big cities. You're like, what the hell is that? And you're like, oh, it's art. It's art. And you're like, no, it's not. It's not art. It's a metal stick in the ground. Is what it is.
True to Xbox form, you either get a nice white-looking rectangle or a giant black rectangle. So, yeah. I don't know. It's just down to the games. There's lots of really nice games on PlayStation that I wish I could play. Like the Spider-Man series, the remaster of The Last of Us, God of War. There's a few games on there that but it isn't enough to go and buy the system. Where with Xbox, there is a hell of a lot of good games I can play. A lot of the good games you can play, you can get free for your subscription with Game Pass News. And then like talking about Halo, Forza, Plague Tale, Deathloop, which you'd have to buy on the PlayStation, by the way. All those stuff's there. I don't know the ins and outs of their subscription service. It's still getting slated for not having much backwards compatibility. And still not going back to the backlog of games that they've got available to them. So it is really down to what you can get available at the time, because I know over here PS5s are still quite difficult to get brand new, and people are, because it's Christmas coming up, people are capitalizing on that. I've seen some that are just console disc only as well, consoles. Not disc only, but disc versions of the consoles going for like $650 for just the console, no game. So, and I think that's because people are getting savvy to the idea that there might not be a disc version of the console coming in the future, digital only. So they're kind of jumping on that. People are going to be paying big money for it, which I think is a bit disgusting. But it's the way the market is at the moment with stuff. So
Yeah. You got to look at the games and what's available. For me, I made the decision on I liked the games that were coming out. Now I'll be honest, some of those games are still not out. I like the games that are coming out. I like the fact that I just pay a flat rate and I get to play a slew of these games that I want to play. And I've been disappointed. There's a lot of games that I've been able to play that I wouldn't have otherwise probably bought or all that just I don't know. And so when you look at Sony, you have to look at, are you okay with plunking down $70 a game, for however many games you want to buy from them? What would that have? It probably would have been like 3 games for me, so like $210. And so I get my Ultimate. I always get it on sale, so I always get it for at least $10. So I paid $120 to play all the games I wanted on Game Pass. So, it's just, but it really is up to you. Like I joke about, Sony's a bunch of snivelly kids or whatever. No, they're cool. Like I appreciate the games they put out. They put out some bangers, that's for sure. They fill this void of awesome single player campaign games. That, to be quite frank, Xbox just can't seem to get their hands around that type of a game and knock it out of the park. So if that's your deal, that's the place to be, man. And we will still love you. We will still love you. We hope you still listen to our crazy ramblings as well. But either way, we totally understand. So yeah, play the games you want to play on the console you want to play. That's what it's all about. I can't tell you any more than that. You know what Xbox is. Bruce, you listen to this podcast enough, you know what it is. And if you listen to this podcast and you're like, I like those crazy 2 people, but Xbox ain't for me, that's cool, man. You go play with the Sony people and have a blast.
So Mr. Tim he's the man of all 3 consoles. He has the OLED, Switch, he's got PS5, and he's got an Xbox. He has all 3. He would probably be able to, I don't know, talk you down off every ledge with this. Like, which way do you go? So.
You know what I like to say? Tim has all of them. Sorry. I couldn't help it.
And on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, that is a podcast.
Take us out, Sean.
Everybody, thank you very much for listening. If you want to get in touch with us via any of our social medias, you can do by heading over to Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. If you hit @Game Pass News, you will more than likely get in touch with us. If you want any of the cool merchandise, like I know you guys can't see this if you're listening, but Nick's wearing a really nice snazzy hoodie, which he says is very, very, very warm and comfortable. Yes, head over to redbubble.com. Again, look for us there, Game Pass News, buy some of our merchandise. Thank you very much. If you want to chat with us in the Discord, head over to patreon.com. Look for the Nintendo Dads. Pay them $1 a month, and you can get access to the Discord. Or please subscribe to our Twitch channel, and we will sort you out with the access there. Thank you very much to the live chat this evening for being involved, Ebbisol. As always, you are very welcome, and you do make some very good points. And to everyone else, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you later.
See you later, guys.